Imagine a sound so faint, so persistent, that it was mistaken for pigeon droppings, a gentle, omnipresent hiss emanating from the very fabric of space. For weeks, two brilliant minds tried everything to silence it, unaware that this subtle, irritating whisper was, in fact, the oldest sound in existence, the faint, pervasive echo of the universe's very first moments, still reverberating billions of years later. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to this quiet corner of the cosmos. Today, we're not just telling a story. We're repealing back the layers of time itself to uncover the incredible journey of how humanity finally discovered the true origin of our universe, the Big Bang. And I guarantee, by the end of this journey, you will never look up at the night sky the same way again. We uncover incredible stories like this every single week. Stories that don't just entertain, but fundamentally reshape how we view reality. If you're as fascinated by these cosmic revelations as I am, make sure you're subscribed right now so you don't miss the next one. Alright, enough talk. Let's journey back to a time when the universe's story was still shrouded in profound mystery. For millennia, across every culture and every age, a fundamental question has echoed through the human mind. Where did all of this come from? The stars, the planets, the vast, seemingly endless void beyond our grasp. Countless myths, philosophies, and religions offered answers, each a testament to our innate desire to comprehend the grand theater of existence. But the tools of science, slowly but surely, began to chisel away at the mystery, moving us from poetic conjecture to observable fact. Our story truly begins in the crisp, thin air of Mount Wilson, California. Perched high above the twinkling lights of a still young Los Angeles. It was here, in 1929, that Edwin Hubble, a distinguished man with a precise demeanor and an analytical gaze, spent countless nights immersed in the quiet hum of the observatory. With neatly combed dark hair and often seen in a suit, tie, and tweed jacket, Hubble was a figure of quiet intensity, dedicated to deciphering the messages carried by ancient starlight. His instrument of choice was the Hooker telescope, a titan of glass and steel, then the largest in the world. Night after night, Hubble would meticulously study the enigmatic smudges of light that astronomers then called spiral nebulae. For years it was debated whether these faint spirals were merely gas clouds within our own Milky Way, or if they were, in fact, island universes, galaxies entirely separate from our own. Hubble, through painstaking observation, confirmed the latter, forever expanding humanity's conception of the cosmos beyond the confines of our home galaxy. But Hubble's most profound discovery was yet to come. As he continued his relentless work, peering deeper into the cosmic abyss, he began to notice something peculiar about these distant galaxies. By examining the light they emitted, specifically the way it was shifted towards the red end of the spectrum, phenomenon known as redshift, Hubble realized these galaxies weren't just sitting still. They were moving, and almost all of them were moving away from us. More astonishing still, the farther away a galaxy was, the faster it appeared to be receding. This wasn't merely a coincidence, it was a fundamental pattern, a cosmic choreography. Imagine dots on an inflating balloon, moving further apart as the balloon expands. Hubble's observations were the celestial equivalent. What he had unveiled, through sheer methodical determination, was the undeniable truth that the universe itself was expanding. This revelation was nothing short of revolutionary. If the universe was expanding, it meant that in the past it must have been smaller, denser, and hotter, far, far hotter. This implied a specific, cataclysmic beginning. Though Hubble himself never used the term, his work laid the foundational brick for what would later be known as the Big Bang Theory, the idea that our entire universe emerged from an unimaginably hot, incredibly dense state, an origin point of space-time itself. It was a theoretical bombshell, but for decades it remained just that, a theory, an elegant idea without direct, tangible evidence. The universe in its vastness holds its secrets close. For a long time, the notion of a universe born from an intensely hot, dense state remained largely a theoretical construct, albeit one gaining traction. Scientists needed more than just an implication. They needed a whisper, an echo, a direct message from the dawn of time itself. And that message would come, not through meticulous astronomical observation, but through a frustrating, seemingly insignificant accident. Our story now fast-forwards to 1965, to the quiet, industrial hum of Bell Labs in Holmdel, New Jersey. Here, two young, brilliant radio astronomers, Arno and Robert Wilson, were on a mission. Penzias, in his 30s, often appeared slightly rumpled in a lab coat over casual attire, his dark wavy hair and glasses framing an expression of thoughtful curiosity mixed with an occasional hint of bewilderment. His colleague, Wilson, slightly younger, was clean-cut and analytical, with lighter, shorter hair and a focused, inquisitive gaze. They were a formidable pair, meticulously working to calibrate a massive, gleaming horn antenna, truly groundbreaking piece of technology designed for pioneering satellite communication experiments. The antenna itself was an engineering marvel, shaped like a giant, flared trumpet, designed to pick up extremely faint radio signals. But as Penzias and Wilson began their work, they encountered a problem. A persistent, annoying hiss. a faint omnipresent static that refusetto go away. It was a low, uniform noise, coming from every direction, at every hour of the day, interfering with their sensitive measurements. Initially, they suspected mundane interference. Perhaps it was faulty equipment. They checked and rechecked every component, every connection, every circuit. They cooled parts of the antenna, thinking it might be thermal noise from the electronics. Nothing worked. The hiss remained, a stubborn, unyielding companion to their carefully calibrated instruments. Their frustration mounted. This was not just a minor annoyance. It was fundamentally undermining their research. They considered every possible terrestrial source. Could it be military radar? They aimed the antenna away from cities, away from known signal sources. Still, the hiss persisted, unwavering. It was uniform, coming from the sky itself, no matter where they pointed the enormous horn. Then came the pigeons. These persistent birds had taken up residence inside the massive horn antenna, leaving behind a thick layer of what Penzias and Wilson Riley referred to as white dielectric material, or more plainly, pigeon droppings. Thinking this might be the source of their maddening interference, the two scientists embarked on the rather undignified task, offering to rid the antenna of its feathered inhabitants. They even tried gently trapping the pigeons and shipping them to another location, only for the birds to immediately fly back to their cozy home within the horn. Finally, in desperation, they resorted to more drastic measures, ultimately evicting the avian squatters and thoroughly cleaning out the antenna. They were certain this was the solution. With the pigeons gone and the antenna spotless, they fired up their equipment. The hiss, however, was still there. Faint, omnipresent, and utterly baffling. It couldn't be local. It couldn't be the pigeons. It couldn't be their equipment. This noise was coming from outside the Earth, outside the solar system, perhaps even outside our galaxy. It was around this time that Arno Penzias, out of sheer scientific curiosity and desperation, made a phone call. He called Bernard Burke, a radio astronomer at MIT, to discuss their baffling problem. Burke, in turn, told Penzias about a theoretical group at Princeton University, led by Robert Dicke, who were searching for something specific, a faint background radiation that was predicted to be the leftover heat, the residual glow from the universe's fiery birth. Dicke and his team, which included Jim Peebles, had theorized that if the Big Bang had indeed happened, the universe would still be permeated by a faint, uniform glow of microwave radiation, a cosmic microwave background, or CM. It would be an omnipresent echo, the very first light in the universe, stretched and cooled over billions of years into the microwave spectrum. They were actively building their own receiver to try and detect it. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place with a profound and thunderous silence. The persistent hiss, the uniform static coming from every direction, the one that Penzias and Wilson had tried so desperately to eliminate, wasn't interference at all. It was precisely what Dicke's team was looking for. It was the faint, pervasive echo of creation itself. The accidental discovery by Penzias and Wilson provided the first, irrefutable direct evidence for the Big Bang. Their noise was the universe's most ancient whisper, a cosmic birth cry still resonating through the vastness of space. The two groups published their findings back-to-back in the Astrophysical Journal, a moment that revolutionized forever. For their accidental, yet monumental, discovery, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson were jointly awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1978. And so, from a careful observation of distant light, showing the universe's relentless expansion, to a frustrating struggle with a persistent static signal, dismissed initially as mere nuisance, humanity pieced together the most grand narrative of all, the story of our cosmic beginning. The Big Bang, once a theoretical leap, was now firmly grounded in observable reality. It stands as a testament not only to the ingenuity of the human mind, but to the serendipitous nature of discovery, proving that sometimes the most profound truths are hidden in the most unexpected of places, waiting to be heard. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through cosmic time and accidental discovery. If you found yourself captivated by the whispers of the universe, and you want to continue exploring the hidden stories of our world and beyond, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Your support helps us uncover even more forgotten tales. Until next time, keep looking up.